Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel Italy, a place to love. Now let me introduce a bit my channel in Italian. Buongiorno amici, benvenuti sul mio canale Italy, a place to love, Italia, un posto da amare, and benvenuti, bentornati qui sul mio canale. Okay, now I can stop speaking in Italian and I can go back to English. Okay, just to make a little introduction, because in the comments someone said, "Oh Antonio, please say something in Italian." Why not? Perché no? Time to time I can switch to Italian and say a few words just to let you hear a bit of Italian, to listen a bit of Italian. Okay, my friends, now my name is Antonio and today's video is about one comment that had been posted under one of my videos and was a very interesting comment, a bit funny for me, but was serious from the person who wrote it, because obviously now by the title you are obviously guessing already what I'm talking about. And so let me talk about this chapter, this particular thing that we have here in Italy, and in particular in the south of Italy, okay? So let's enter into the topic, because this is going to be a very interesting topic. I guess I'm going to have few comments under this video. Let's go. Let's start talking about the volcanoes, guys. The volcanoes here in the south of Italy. This is a major issue. Anyway, I'm not saying that volcanoes are not dangerous. Actually, they are extremely dangerous, okay? But let's go into the topic, deep into the topic. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. The south of Italy has two volcanoes, okay? So one is Etna, that is in Sicily, and one is Vesuvio, that is in Campania region, that is just beside Naples, Naples city. Now, everyone who traveled at least once to Naples has seen this massive volcano, okay? I'm not gonna say, I can say that an entire city was built under the volcano. That's a bit shocking, okay? This is the most shocking thing about the south of Italy, about Naples. A city that was built under the volcano. This is quite shocking, okay? But let's go a bit technical into the details. Now, Etna and Vesuvio are two different types of volcanoes, okay? They're not the same type. Now, I have here, I'm helping myself with the laptop, just to give correct information. So basically, now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to translate in English these words because I wrote in Italian. L'Etna è un vulcano attivo ed effusivo. So, it's an active volcano, Etna. I'm talking about the volcano in Sicily. It's an active volcano, and it's not effusivo. Is the opposite of exploding. Okay, it's not a type of volcano that explodes, but the lava just usually falls under the hills of the volcano. But generally, anyway, Etna is not an explosive volcano. And that is one type of volcano. Then we have Vesuvio volcano, okay? Vesuvium. That is a sleeping volcano. It's called sleeping volcano, but it's an explosive volcano. And this is where the danger comes, okay? So this is what it makes Vesuvio a very dangerous volcano. Okay, this is the first definition. Now, let's go deeper into the topic of Vesuvio, okay, and the danger that can cause, and the danger and the damage that caused in the past years, okay? Because when we talk about a volcano, we also have to understand if it's going to explode, when it's going to explode. So nobody here is denying that Vesuvio is not going to explode, because for sure, 100%, Vesuvio volcano, it will probably explode. And now there are some movements near Naples town. There are signs that the Vesuvio can explode anytime. And so this is a huge problem, okay? Now, let me go back 1 second to a bit of history of the volcano, and actually, let's start from what Vesuvio actually is and Naples is now, and a bit of history, okay? Because history will introduce then to the topic about where I am now, and if it's a danger, Vesuvio, if it's a danger, where I am now, in Montemilone, in Basilicata. So, let's talk about the madness of Naples, okay? Now, Naples is a city that counts around 3 million inhabitants, okay? And the entire city was built under the volcano. Now, we can say that this is pure madness, okay? I think we can all agree with this, because how can someone go and build a city under a volcano? I mean, this is something kind of shocking. But Napolitan people did it. I mean, they are living 3 million people, let's say 2 millions maybe, let's say 1 million are in extremely danger, in an extreme danger. But so 3 million people are living under this volcano. How do they cope? Is it possible? Now, my question, and the question that can anyone ask to themselves is, but can people cope living under the volcano? Now, for me, let me say, no, I would never go and live under a volcano that can explode anytime. But Napolitan people do this, so they are aware of the danger, they are aware of their situation, they are aware about where they are living. This, actually, once I was talking with more than once I was talking with Napolitan people, and personally I asked, and I say, but listen, how can you cope living under a volcano? And Napolitan people generally answer with one question, because they all know that can explode something, can explode anytime. And basically their answer was, listen, Antonio, here we live day by day. We know very well that every day can be our last day here. So they don't plan the future. What was the meaning of this sentence that this man said to me? Antonio, generally in Naples, we don't plan the future, because we cannot plan anything. We can plan today. Okay, we wake up in the morning and we are thinking about how to make money for the evening to have food on the table. Now, I'm a bit exaggerating, but this is the concept of Napolitan people. So they live day by day. They generally don't plan, and this mentality is shaped by thousands of years of a city that was built under the volcano, because Naples was founded by the Greeks, was a Greek colony, the big Greece, if you know history and you know about Odyssey and these things. Anyway, the Greeks came to the south of Italy and they colonized the south of Italy and they call it the big Greece. And Napoli, in Italian, was founded by the Greeks. Now, for example, did you ever ask yourself what Naples means? I'm telling you now. So basically, Napoli in Italian, that was Neapolis in Latin. Nea means new. Polis means city. Okay, so it was la nuova città, the new city. For example, sounds like a bit like New York, Nuova York, Nuova Amsterdam. So, but Napoli, the meaning of Napoli is nuova city, nuova città, new city. I'm mixing a bit Italian and English in this video. That's fine. So, overall, this is the mentality of Napolitan people. They generally don't plan their future. And when you are dealing with Napolitans, it's something amazing because they have an attitude to the life that is unique in the world. No one in the world has their attitude and their mentality. Probably this is shaped because they built a city under the volcano. So 3,000 years ago, someone went there, and so on. So nowadays they are dealing with the fact that this can explode anytime. Then now let's go a bit into the history, okay? And so we all know, I think from early childhood, doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can be, Japan has that. Now I was thinking about Japan. Japan has plenty of volcanoes, so they know they are dealing with the volcanoes. But anyone in the world knows the story about Pompeii, okay? The city that was destroyed by the Vesuvio. Now, if you are a tourist and you are going to visit Naples, for sure you are going to visit also Pompeii, this town that was covered totally by the ashes. And around maybe 200 years ago, or 180 years ago, someone started digging there and discovered this huge town, because it was a huge town. I don't think it's enough one day to visit Pompeii with all these. And so the city was covered totally by the ashes of the volcano. I think this was, it happened around, now I'm not sure, but I'd say it happened after that, AD, 80 years after the death of Jesus. So we count after that, AD, 80 years after. So, and they had this massive explosion, and the volcano totally destroyed. Now we don't know about Naples because Pompeii is a few kilometers away from Naples. So then, if we go into the history, so as I said, everyone knows that the volcano itself destroyed Pompeii, and that was the major eruption. Then, okay, practically in danger, there are around 1 million people. 1 million people are living under an extreme danger, where if the volcano explodes. And this is about, let me say, then in the last 2,000 years, the volcano had plenty of explosions, but no one was massive, was big as the explosion that destroyed 2,000 years ago, let's say 2,000 years ago, destroyed Pompeii. So during all these years, these 2,000 years, the volcano exploded. And if you go, for example, on Wikipedia and you type volcano Vesuvium, you will see all the eruptions that this volcano had and the damage that it caused. For example, I think there was a massive explosion around 1650. They had explosion in 1200, 1100, 900. So constantly there were explosions. But then my question is, with all this explosion, why people from Naples and people who are living around the volcano are still living there? Maybe because it's still manageable, maybe because it's still possible to live in this place. Now, it's a risk, as I said before, that Napolitan people put in the basket, let me say. But here we could open another chapter because, for example, I can say, okay, Naples is dangerous because there is the volcano, but the reasons why many places could be dangerous are so many. So many. For example, I type here earthquakes, not necessarily volcano, for example. Earthquakes are extremely dangerous. For example, I have to be honest, in Italy, we constantly have earthquakes, okay? And it's something that we cannot avoid. It's something that Italian people are living with. Now, it's sad if it happens, and it's sad if people are dying after one event like this. But we are dealing with this land. Everyone who is from a nation is dealing with their own problems. There's no nation, like I always say, that doesn't exist the perfect house. It doesn't exist as well the perfect nation, because there might be always several problems that might bring, for example, I give you a stupid example. Why, for example, I'm afraid to live in Nordic European countries? Because the extreme climate, for example, and if it stops for a reason or for another, the food supply as we have today, are they able to feed all the population with their own crops? For example, I'm giving just a stupid example. Is it Norway able to feed their own people with the crops that they have in Norway? Can they make crops? What can they grow in? Can they grow tomatoes? I don't know. This is a stupid question. Can they grow wheat? I don't know. I repeat, these are questions that, these are things that we can only find out then if the problem happens. Because if in Naples and if in under the volcano nothing is going to happen, how many people live their life under the volcano without having a problem ever in their life? So this is one thing. But earthquakes, or there could be a problem with floodings. Floodings are causing a lot of problems. Or living just at the feet of the mountains. It's dangerous also to live in the mountains. You might have, when the soil and collapse from the mountains, and you might have houses that are built just under the mountains. So that sounds crazy as well. When I go to the mountains in the north of Italy, that sounds very crazy and scary to me. But there could be other problems that make a place dangerous. I mentioned immigration. Immigration for many people is a problem nowadays. Or now I say the last thing, for example, wars and bombs. Wars and bombs, I don't know, these are a problem. A nation that might not have, for example, any problem with earthquakes, with volcanoes, with mountains, and maybe even a decent weather, but they might have big issues with wars. So, and bombs, and this place could be dangerous. We know very well in the history. I mean, if people love history and they're studying all the wars that happen in Europe, for example, I can say that Central Europe is one of the worst places where to live if you are afraid of bombs and wars, because if you go and you read history books, you'll find out that it's an extreme danger constantly. So danger is everywhere. Now, I spent nearly 20 minutes to talk about this. Now, I close this chapter and I go back to Montemilone, to where I am now. And let me say this. When I moved here, obviously because my wife, for example, she's afraid of earthquakes and volcano, she was pretending me to buy the house in a place that doesn't have this danger, okay? So, for example, there was a beautiful town that I like and I really wanted to buy because they had thermal water springs, hot springs coming from the rivers with hot springs, beautiful, called Sessaurunca, not far from Naples. Let me say 1 hour driving from Naples, in provincia di Caserta. Caserta, there's a beautiful castle. But for me, that place was too much at risk, earthquake. or Volcano. Even if, for example, I'm saying, let me say one more thing about Vesuvio. Vesuvio, as I said before, in all the things I said, it can be a problem for the people who are living around the volcano, because if you go in all the records of the explosions, never caused any problems 200 kilometers away from the volcano. I'm 260 kilometers away from Naples, 230 kilometers away from Naples. There's no recorded event in history where the Vesuvio caused a problem to the village where I am now. Earthquakes, let me say, yes, for example, but because I'm in the northwest of in the northeast of Basilicata, I'm at the border with Apulia region. For example, Apulia doesn't have any records about earthquakes. I don't know, there are two regions in Italy that don't have any problems or issues with the earthquakes, and are Sardinia and the Apulia region. So, for example, I said to myself, okay, I'm far away from the volcano, 250 kilometers, there's no record about the damage that Vesuvio can do here. Ashes, never reported ashes. They never caused any major issue. Then earthquakes, yes. For example, there are records about earthquakes here in Montemilone, but there are no records about very heavy or causing big damages here in Montemilone. There is a recorded, for example, there is a recorded earthquake that happened in 1980. So we are talking about only 34 years ago, and was called Irpinia earthquake. Irpinia. If you type Irpinia, Irpinia, you'll find a lot about this earthquake. It caused a lot of deaths, but it happened in Campania region, and it happened also here in Basilicata. The major damage had been done in Campania region. Also, Basilicata was affected, a lot of damages. Some people also die here in Basilicata, but for example, when I ask around what damage had done the Irpinia earthquake here in Montemilone, they said nobody died. They had some structural damages to some infrastructure, not to all of them. Many people catch the ball and they rebuild their houses from scratch. We can say that 34 years ago, the town had one shape. The houses were in very bad condition and very old. So then from 1980, they all rebuilt the houses. Then I've been, for example, in another town last year while I was looking for the place where to relocate, and I found a town called Pomarico. Pomarico is in the southern part of Basilicata, not far from the sea, close to Matera. Everyone, I think, knows Matera. Investigate yourself. It's a beautiful, beautiful city, town full of history. So Pomarico has the old part of Pomarico that is abandoned, totally abandoned. Nobody is living there. There's the new part. They build new houses, but the earthquake over there damaged and caused a lot of problems. So people decide to leave the old part of the town. Sorry about my hair. So this, I think I gave a full picture of the volcano itself, okay, and what problems can cause me here. And I'm saying that here Vesuvio cannot cause any type of problems, any. There might be an issue, a problem with earthquakes, but as far as I know, and all the recorded events, never reported very big earthquakes. We had few earthquakes recently in Italy in the last 20 years. One were not far from Bologna, in the center of Italy, another one not really far from Rome, another one in Abruzzo. So there are all the central part of Italy that has these mountains called Appennini. We have Alpi, that are at the border with Switzerland, France, Germany, Austria, these countries. And then we have mountains that are going down to Sicily, Calabria, and they go all over Italy, and they're called Appennini. So Appennini are well known, for example, to have problems with earthquakes. That's it. And then let me close. Okay, I'm going a bit longer with this video, but let me talk about here. There is a volcano not very far from here. 40 kilometers from Montemilone, guys, I can see a volcano. This volcano is called Vulture, okay? And has two beautiful lakes on top of the volcano. I will share videos. I went already a few times, but I'm planning to make videos over there, even to make just a video how you can see this volcano from Montemilone town and from all the area around. It's beautiful. I love it. Each time I see it, I mean, I love this volcano. It's not called anymore volcano, okay? It's called mountain now. Why it's called mountain? Because it's not active anymore, this volcano, okay? Now, the last eruption recorded was 130,000 years ago, okay? Then the volcano became silent, stopped having eruptions, so 130,000 years ago. There's no even history recorded by these days. I think we were still in the Neolithic. People were still using the stones. Homo sapiens was just at the beginning of his journey up to now. So Vulture, find out, Monticchio, Vulture, is a beautiful mountain nowadays. It's well known for the chestnuts, for the best chestnuts on the planet. It's well known for the walnuts. It's well known for Aglianico wine. So it's well known for the beauties, and it's well known for these two lakes on top of the volcano. And also is very well known for the sparkling water coming from the springs. There are plenty of springs around the Monticchio area where you can get, actually the water I'm buying is a sparkling water that is coming from the spring sparkling. They don't add any CO2, any carbonate things to make it sparkling. And there's nothing better to drink one of these sparkling water glass at the end, anytime. All the summer I was drinking 2 liters per bottle, two bottles a day, just to refresh myself. And I was always drinking this sparkling water that is coming from the springs, just like this. And this is because it was an active volcano long time ago, and now there are these springs still giving this kind of sparkling water. That's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, I'm at the end of the video, but I want to mention 4 words in Italian that someone might be interested if they want to learn a bit of Italian. And today I'm going to say 4 words. The first is pane. Repeat with me, pane. Pane means bread. So if you're looking for pane, if you're looking for bread, you ask for pane.